This is On Imagination with the ethical asshole, and I am your host, the salty bitch. And this podcast is not a conspiracy. I went ahead and looked at this. This is an AI thing device. I wanted to know what did I say exactly? Can activism be done without violence? And this one really hit me, and I went, woo! Civil disobedience. I'm not obedient. Civil disobedience. Deliberately breaking unjust laws in a nonviolent way can highlight the need for change. I'm going to use different words. When I was a slave and I was doing extractions, one of the things that I did was just acted naturally. When I acted naturally, that's when I got to see just how free I was not. I was not breaking any laws. I was just being me, doing what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. I was not breaking any laws. I was living free. Now, living free when you are not free shows you just how free you are not. It is not the living free that determines whether or not you are free. Oh, you can live free. You are free to live free. However, there's going to be consequences for that. And it's the consequences that you use as a metric to measure your slavery. That's how it's done. Do you want to leave? Do you want to change? Do you want to go somewhere? Do you feel safe when you do this? Can you open your voice and speak it openly? What are the consequences if you do? If there are consequences for you living free, then you are enslaved in relativity to how much consequences you get. So you want to live free and then look for the consequences, which will tell you if you're free or not. So really, are you free? It's really a big question of what's the natural way of life? What is the natural way of living? Can you do that without any consequence? Can you just do it? And if you do, which obstructions are in the way? And if the obstructions are in the way, you now have a starting list of the problems. Well, I want to live free, and this is preventing me from doing it. This is preventing me from doing it. This is preventing me from doing it. So this right here is a solid, great way to start. And if you don't even feel safe enough to live free, you're not free. Like that's right there. If you are not safe enough to live free, then you're not. Because freedom means without consequence or fear of consequence. It's quite extraordinary how this just keeps going back in on itself. So that one was really, I want to see what else it said here, because there were a few other things. Boycott was mentioned in here, and I love talking boycott. That's one of my favorite things in the world is boycotting, because I've been boycotting marketing and commercials for over 24 years. Literally, I have not watched a commercial in 24 years, unless it was for conscious entertainment purposes, like that Kmart commercial about shipping pants. I watched that one on purpose because someone showed it to me with my consent, not for marketing purposes. I approve. And aside from that one, I haven't watched marketing since 1995. I think 1995 or 1996 was the last time I actually watched commercials or marketing. I don't participate in that. Mm-hmm. Education and awareness is a huge one on here. That's big. It's education, and that's the same stuff that I found when I did all of my research. Was the education was a huge, and that's really it right there is education. And this is where it gets interesting, because if they just gave you the education to begin with on the first hand, then you would already know and you'd be set. like it's done. And I'll tell you what this really is. This is quality control. This is what happens when you have a business like the government without any quality control. That's the problem. Quality control is the regulator in your input output. So we've had an input output and no regulator. And as a result, there's no quality control. So now we're here, and that's really it. So quality control is a huge part of it. Education is another huge part of it. Yeah, I'm starting to really carve this out. I'm learning. Like I'm trying to figure out where exactly I want to be with all this. And I've been saying this for a while on my channel, where I'm like, I don't know what to do with my channel now. Now I know. Now I know. I'm like, all right, I'm getting comfortable here. I'm getting comfortable, people. Comfortable. Had some growing to do. And now I'm getting comfortable. And I'm going, all right. So quality, education. We want critical thinking. If you have a list of demands, please, by all means, message me on one of my platforms and let me know. Let me think here. What else do we have here? Quality, education, mental health, but that's tied into education. Quality is also tied into education. I'm going to tell you right now, education is the common denominator of all of the problems. You fix that one problem and the whole thing goes away. Yes, the whole thing goes away, because then you guys do your own critical thinking. And then you guys go, oh, well, this is bullshit. And then you look at all the injustice and you get to see it precisely. And then you get to understand why it's insanity. And then you go, well, that's what they're doing. Well, that's bullshit. Well, that means and then you'll go, oh, that's bullshit. And then you'll know how to organize without someone telling you how to organize. You'll just do it on your own. And I'm just going to sit back here and hand you all like water bottles and, granola bars to boost your energy and tell you you're doing a good job. Now go do what you need. Make the world yours. And then that's about it. We're really like taking down the rat race. End of the rat race. And everyone else was like, it's funny because it's like, end the rat race, out of the economy. And that's really what this is. This is end the rat race, out of the economy. That's I feel like that's really what this is all about. I love that. I love everything about that. That's a really good depiction of how I feel right now. It's, down with the rat race. Oh no, the economy. And it's like, the system is, it's. Breathe with me for a minute. I'm breathing and I'm just like, I struggle doing meditations with people. I've tried. It's been a long time since I've done that. It was like a year and a half, 2 years ago when I started this. That's the last time I did meditations. I don't know if I want to do meditations now. I don't know yet. I see me doing meditations. Maybe I'll just do this rotation of, and I'll just make my rounds. That sounds like it's a really good idea, doesn't it? I haven't gotten my frequency right yet. I haven't gotten my tempo right, but I'm feeling the rounds are in place finally. I got my little shop over on Instagram. My meditations. For me, they're private. When I meditate, it's very private. And I don't know if I want to share that with people. So then that's one of the things that I struggle with. I can teach people how to meditate. Meditating is just thinking. There's 4 stages. There's actually 3 stages of meditation and 1 not thinking stage of meditation. The not thinking stage of meditation is what most people use. The other 3 stages of meditation is scientific method, and that's what scientists use. Spiritual people only use stage 4. I use all 4 of them strategically and aligned on a rotation. And maybe that's something it will be something I cover. I'm just not, the universe is going, not yet, Anna, not yet. Okay. You'll come to it when they're ready. Okay. When they're ready. And I can see it. It's going to be like, basically, this is what this turns into. There's going to be a point where you guys start making requests. And I do your requests. The healthy ones, the ethical ones. So when I start getting requests, that's how I know what to do, because you tell me what you want and need. And then I go, oh, there it is. Tell me what you want and need. And you're going to go, but Anna, I can't even comment on the I know, right? We have a problem. I got to figure out how to open communications with you so you can talk to me and tell me what you want. I got to think about that. I don't allow chats on any of my social media because people are assholes. And I had to do a whole lot of being vulnerable. And it was not at all healthy, sane, or safe for me to be vulnerable while all these judgmental troll assholes comment about how abusive they are to me. And I'm like, yeah, that's not a risk I'm willing to take. Why would I trust strangers with my vulnerability? That's stupid. So I'm going to tell you right now, this is a big deal because I already saw this. One of my persons who I follow in social media on Instagram, he's already gotten an AI scam. He received, one of his fans received an email, not from him, using his voice via AI to do all of this shit. Now I'm going to tell you right now, I don't contact anybody ever. So you will never hear from me. There's a reason for that. I don't chase people. You come to me. So if I'm reaching out to you, I can tell you right now, it's not me because I don't do that. Only people reach out to me. And I have like it's a process if you want to reach out to me. I got to figure out how to open. Oh, wait, my WhatsApp. My WhatsApp is how you can contact me. My WhatsApp. That's so fucking easy. I've already got it in place. And I will also have my Discord. I'm working on my Discord. Discord. I don't know anything about Discord. I've been on there a few times. I actually already have a spot on Discord where I'm going, all right, oh, you know where you can meet me? At the watering hole. Literally, I have a watering hole. Well, okay, it's not a literal watering hole. It's called the watering hole, literally. So I have a Substack, and in the Substack, there's a chat. So if you want to put a request in there, you can. You tell me what you need, and I can tell you, okay, here you go. Here's the riddle me this Batman stuff. So riddle me this Batman. Maybe that's what we'll call it. And that's just it, is that's where I get a lot of this from. So it's when you guys are ready for me to do meditations, you're going to tell me when you're ready for the meditations. And that's when I do the meditations. That's not something I do beforehand. So there's a lot of little stuff like that where I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do that until you guys tell me you want it. It feels like a clubhouse, which is exactly what I want to go for here, a clubhouse. I know what today is, and I'm ignoring it, and I need to not ignore it anymore. Today is day 1 of year 5. Today is day 1 of a 5-year spot I'm going to be in. That's what today is. I'm here and I'm going, oh, I know exactly what today is because I've been looking at it for the last 2 years. There's going to be a spot where I'm in for 5 years. And this is all I do for 5 years. And I've been preparing for this moment for the last 2 years. And I just got here today and I went, oh, I know what this is. And I had a little panic attack. It was more of a tantrum. And I went out back, my bedroom. And I just did a whole, so I did that. I do that a lot. And I made my rounds with all my people. I cried. I was like, here's my vulnerability. And then I realized, okay, are you done with your Garden of Gethsemane moment? I'm done. Great. Are you ready to go sit back and do the actual joke? Yes. All right. Go do it. So then I get back here and I know what today is. This is where I'm going to be for the next 5 years. Right here. Sitting with you. Passing out water bottles, going, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And there's nothing else for me to do now. I got it all organized. It's all done. I just point. This is where I'm going to be for the next 5 years. It feels like I just walked into a bomb shelter and now I'm just sitting here in my little shelter. And I've got my little, today's day 1 of year 5. Tomorrow's going to be day 2 of the 5-year. Go. Yeah, we're like a month out from 2025. Yep, we're right on schedule. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, today's day one. I wonder what day is today. The 26th of November. Yeah. So every one of us has got our agenda. I don't pray. I'm always talking to the universe. So it seems really weird to pray because she's right here. Hey. So I guess in a way you could say I'm always praying then. But I don't pray to comfort myself. That never felt ethical to me. I don't pray to comfort myself. I plan to comfort myself. That's what I do. I plan. And I sit down and I think about, okay, what is the strategy? Where do we need to go from here? Where's the right direction? Everything in life is about navigation, knowing exactly where you need to move, when you need to move, and doing what you need to do. And it's understanding and having the preparations in place so that when you're ready to make a movement, you can just do it. And you can go A, B, C, and you just do it and you just move. And that's what we're looking at a lot, is a lot of dancing. A lot of people are like, oh, why all the talk? Well, you got to know how to use talk strategically. Talking is a fantastic tool for when you're in the age of discovery, trying to figure shit out. But then after you figure shit out, then it's okay, now let's put it in an organized manner. Let's organize that shit. Now, after we've organized it, okay, now how do we put momentum into this to drive it forward into the direction we want? How do we put it into motion? And that's where the planning and the events come in. After you get your planning and your events coming in, then it's raising awareness, educating people, recruiting more people. Then you get X amount of people. All right, where do you want to go with this? What do you want? And it's interesting because the way we build a country is the same way we build our lives. It's the exact same formula. You're literally living it right here in a different dimension. I shouldn't say that word, but it's true. Let me show you what I mean. So if you think about your cell, and then think about an atom, that's a dimension. Your cells are on one dimension. Your atoms are on another dimension. Now you're looking at me and I'm looking at you. Our cells and our atoms are still here, but you can't see them. You can look at a cell and see a cell through a scientific microscope, but you're not going to be able to see the atom in that same microscope. You're going to need a different kind of microscope because you're changing dimension. So you and I right here are in this dimension, but our cells are in a different dimension. Oh, but they're here. You just can't see them. Just like our atoms are on a different dimension. You can't see that one either. But you know right now, out there, there's aliens. Because you know that there's aliens. Because there's aliens all over now, apparently. They're under the ocean. I don't know why they're there. But they're there. They're there. I love that I can say that because I'm in this podcast is not a conspiracy. So that's a different dimension. The galaxy, the Milky Way. When you're looking at the Milky Way and those pictures from out and you're like looking down, that's another dimension. And then when you're standing here again and you're looking at me face to face, dimension. And then when you're down again, atom level, then down at cell level. Now, speed it up, go fast. Milky Way, look me in the eye. Atoms, cells, cells, atoms. Let's reverse that because it's backwards. Atoms, cells, look me in the eye, up to Milky Way. Back down again, look me in the eye. Now you're dimension hopping. When you start to think about things like that, that fast, now integrate them, think of them all at the same time. Can you do it? When you start to integrate those and you start to think of them all at the same time, that's how I think all the time. Only I have a lot more pieces, but that's the start of it. So what you're looking at is this moment now, this moment of what it will be later. The Milky Way out there, everything on an atomic level, everything on a cellular level, and then everything right here looking at my eyes. And it's suddenly understanding how to move everything at an atomic level from this level. And that when you're trying to calm things inside of your mind, what you're really doing is calming the things at the atomic level. This is your atomic health. It is literally your health at the atomic level. This is the science I do. It's really awesome. And then after that, you have the physiology level. The physiological level is the level of your cells. And then you have looking at me eye to eye. This is your metaphysics, your meta level. And then you have your astro level. That's going to be out with the Milky Way again. That's your astrophysics. So you have astrophysics, metaphysics, cellular, and then you have atomic health, which is literally psychological physics. So when you start to understand that you're a proton needing to get back to your nuclei, no, your nucleus, you really start to change the way you think of the world. So I have lots of stuff going on. Take a look over at my Linktree account if you want to see everything that I have going on. And may the kindest of words always find you.